Hey everybody, I was just at home making butter and I thought I better make a video to explain people how to make this because it's super fucking easy and you're going to be wondering why you haven't done it all these years. That's kind of what I've been wondering until I found out. And yeah, I know everybody's always like, oh, this is super easy. And then they tell you 500 things to do. But no, this is actually easy, legitimately easy. I have one of these. You don't need one of these to actually make it. I've got mine started here. And you can use one of these, or you can use a hand mixer, or you can use, even if you don't have any electricity, you can make butter, surprisingly enough. You can even pour it in a container and shake it up, and it takes a lot longer than one of these machines, but your results will still be the same. You'll still have a good, decent butter. The only drawback I can see to making your own butter is it tends not to last as long as store-bought butter, but then again, it doesn't have all the other preservatives and other garbage that they put in it, so I would say use it in a timely manner, but other than that, it's way better. It tastes way better. It just, like anything homemade, it is just way better. So what you want is you want some heavy cream. I use 33% whipping cream because I just find it easier to find in the stores about where I live. If you want to use raw milk, that is probably the best. And there's also coffee, or not coffee creams, but there's other creams that are, I think, 38% cream that they sell in the stores. I find those are usually pretty expensive, so I just buy the whipping cream, and that works just as well. But if you have the higher fat content, your butter will turn out that much better. And basically, you want to keep in mind when you're making your butter that you want to get most of the liquid out of it. That is the key to it. I've had this one in here for probably about, I've had it mixing for probably about 5 or 6 minutes now. It went past the whipped cream stage. And another little handy tip that I had gotten off the internet is I start off with this until it goes to the whipping cream stage, which you can kind of see. And then I switch over to this, which I believe is like a pastry paddle or something like that they call it. I'm not sure. But this is way easier to clean off than this. So that is why I switched over to the other. But basically, after you put it on high for about 5 or 6 minutes, it's probably going to take about 10 minutes, I think, altogether. Basically, you want your butter to start separating from your cream, which you can see that it has. And what do I do when it gets to this stage is I kind of push all the butter, stick it to the side, and as you can see, you got all your buttermilk in there. Sorry, I'm not putting this camera the right way, but you want to pour your buttermilk out of here, and I'll be turning it back on. I won't because it's pretty loud when I'm trying to talk in the video. I have a pretty quiet voice. But basically, what you want to do is turn that on for a few more minutes after you've taken the buttermilk out. And the buttermilk, don't throw that away because that stuff is gold. You can be using that in any of your baking or anything like that. That's what I use, and it's awesome. But you can use pancakes, anything. Like, you can use in all sorts of shit. So don't throw that crap out. It's really good stuff. And I'll have this going for a few more minutes after I've taken the buttermilk out. And then I turn it around for a few more minutes. More buttermilk will come out. You want to take that buttermilk out. And once buttermilk stops coming out of it and it's more so thickened, then you want to rinse your butter, which means you want to pour some water in that. Let it spin a little bit until the water gets cloudy. Empty it out. Put some more water in. Obviously, you want to use some kind of decent water for it. If you use tap water, all the crap from your tap water is going to get into your butter. So if you have distilled or something like that, that's what I use. That's probably the best because then at least you're not putting any crap in your butter. And after you've rinsed that a few times and the water comes clear, then you can take your butter out and actually get ready to put it in your container. And basically what you're trying to do is just make sure there's no pockets of water. You want to get as much moisture off of it as you can, because that will help it go harder and last longer. So it'll just be a better butter at that point. A lot of people like to use cheesecloth, and to get it all out of there, I just use my hands because I'm pretty old school. I just wash my hands, and then I just grab the butter and just kind of squeeze it between my hands until all the waters come off of it. And then I just press it with a spatula into my container, and then you put it in the fridge or whatever have you, and you use it from there. So anyways, long story short, hopefully you realize that it's super easy to make your own butter. You have a can of, or I guess a bottle of cream or whatever they sell them in these days. A carton of cream from what I use. But you have that, and you'll have butter in probably about 10 minutes, which is actually pretty nice. It doesn't take long at all to make it. And like I said, you can also make it in just a container with a lid on it and just shake it up until the butter separates from the buttermilk, and then just go about this at the other steps just like you would in one of these machines. And you can use a hand mixer. There's all kinds of different options for ways of making it. And yeah, it's nice and easy and good for you, and it's something that you should probably learn how to do. Hopefully you try it out and enjoy.